Hello there everybody, Playtendoguy here and welcome to my review of Dark Souls 3. It's time to pick up your sword, staff or whatever your weapon of choice is and sharpen those skills and dodge maneuvers, as Dark Souls is back with its latest and final iteration to date. So it's time to die and die again, and probably break a few controllers in the process, as Dark Souls 3 is a brilliant, brutal and incredibly rewarding game, and here's my review. Make no bones about it, Dark Souls 3 is hard, really hard. Those who have played a game in the franchise before will know it requires patience, and those who go straight in for the kill will likely end up being killed, as every enemy, even the common monsters that roam the land, are a mini-boss battle. You have to learn the enemy's moves, then wait for an opening to appear, then attack. It's a very rewarding system that has made this series feel very special. When it comes to the story of the Dark Souls franchise, I only know very little, but there's plenty of fans who know the lore like the back of their hands. For those who Dark Souls 3 is their first taste of the franchise, or those who haven't followed the story, the basic gist goes like this. Set in the kingdom of Lothric, he plays an unkindled ash awakened from the dead, and is tasked with defeating the Lords of Cinder and restoring the flame. Like other games in the franchise, you know more about the game's story and lore by exploring the world and meeting various NPCs. The game starts off pretty much like all the other Dark Souls games. You start off by creating your character by choosing their gender, hairstyle and the like, and then pick the class you want your character to be. Classes range from the good offense and defense of the knight, to the cunning assassins, to even the hard but rewarding choice of the deprived, which starts off weak but you can shape it into what you want. What did I choose? The Pyromancer. Why? Starting off with a strong weapon and Bible really appealed to me. Once you've done that, you're ready to enter this twisted and dark medieval world. Once you've defeated an enemy, you earn souls, which is the game's currency, which you can use to level up, upgrade your weapons and buy items. But if you die in the game, you will lose your souls and have to backtrack to wherever you died to retrieve them. But if you die again before you retrieve those souls, they are gone forever. When you're ready to spend your souls, you can fast travel via Bonfire to the Firelink Shrine, which acts like a hub where you can spend your souls to level up, buy items and upgrade your weapons. There is a temptation to continue on trekking throughout the world to gain more souls to level up, but there's a risk of dying and losing all your souls in a particularly hard area. It's also worth knowing when you use a bonfire, it restores all your health and Extus flasks, but it also resets all the enemies you previously defeated, so if you struggled with a certain enemy, you will probably have to fight him again, so be careful. Gameplay seems to be faster this time, borrowing a fair bit from last year's sublime Bloodborne to make the game feel more fluid. While there isn't a load of weapons like there was in Dark Souls 2, you can dual wield some weapons, and there are special skills that are attached to each weapon. These are known as battle arts, and these vary from weapon to weapon. For example, your axe will have a powerful charge attack that will activate a battle art. But using one of these arts will use up your FP gauge. Also using your spells will use up your FP. But as said before, you can restore your HP and FP by setting up a bonfire. There are also two flasks you can use to restore either your HP or your FP. Extus refills your health and Extus Ash refills your FP. Again, both of these flasks will be refilled when you rest at a bonfire. These flasks are a massive help, especially when things get hard. The enemies in this game are brilliantly designed. From the opening few hours where the enemies don't really pose any threat, you still have some fantastically designed enemies that do feel quite intimidating when you first fight them, like the Lothric Knight, but once you've fought a couple you don't really feel intimidated anymore. It may sound weird for me to say this, but I thought Bloodborne was a bloody good horror game, even though it wasn't really one, and to be honest I think you could say the same about Dark Souls 3, as it's the fear of the unknown when it comes to a new area full of monsters you have no clue about, and you worry in case you lose all your souls in a particularly hard battle. But that's the joy of Dark Souls. Sound now, and wow, this game has a brilliant soundtrack, whether it's the majestic tunes that start to bow out of my TV speakers whenever there's a boss battle, to the screams and the cries of the foul beasts that roam the land. The game has certainly a great mix of music and sound effects, and those orchestral tunes sound fantastic and certainly make the epic boss fights even more epic. Presentation now, and overall is certainly the best looking game in the Souls series. I still think Bloodborne is better looking, but that doesn't really matter. What does matter, however, is the disappointing drop in frame rate. In busy areas, the game drops well below the 30 FPS. For a game built upon timing, it's incredibly disappointing. But here's hoping they fix it in a future patch. Conclusion time now. Dark Souls 3 is yet another fantastic game and a brilliant end to the Souls franchise. From Software should be incredibly proud of themselves, as this game is just as fresh, fun and incredibly hard as the other titles, but it's also made some very good improvements along the way to make the most accomplished and best entry in the franchise and an early contender for the Game of the Year. Dark Souls 3 gets a masterful 9.5 out of 10. Thank you for watching my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, rate and subscribe and keep on gaming. Bye.